Radical.
Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the dumpster fire that is everything around the Panthers organization. It is astonishing. Everything is going wrong for the Carolina Panthers. It is astonishing how bad that franchise has been run the last couple years. Now, the Carolina Panthers have been to 2 Super Bowls in their 30-year career. And it's kind of shocking to believe that this garbage franchise at the moment has actually, in their 30 years, been to 2 Super Bowls. Lost both, but been to 2. The most previous being not even a decade ago in 2015 with the Cam Newton-led Panthers. Since that time, Cam's gone, Ron Rivera's gone, and there has been a revolving door of both QB1s and head coaches. There's too many to list. In that time since Cam has been gone, you've had Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Well, first it was, I think, Teddy Bridgewater. And then you have, I know I'm forgetting some along the way, but you got Bryce Young right now. And we'll touch upon that in a moment. Also head coaches since Ron Rivera is gone. You had Steve Wilkes, who out of all the coaches actually had the best record. But new owner David Tepper basically said, nah, you got to go. You got to go, right? So it was Matt Rule, college coach, who's actually back at college. Ironically, I hear doing pretty well. Then it was Frank Reich, and then he was gone. And now you have Dave Canales, this is his first time as a head coach getting that position. Knew everything. They cleaned house. They got new everything. David Tepper is actually the worst owner. I think now that the owner for the Redskins, Washington football team, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves now, is gone. Easily the worst owner now is David Tepper. Because David Tepper is the guy who threw a drink on a fan. Remember that shit? But he is reviled all along the league. Seen universally as, like I said, the worst owner of all the teams. And it is astonishing what is happening with Bryce Young. Now, Bryce Young was a great quarterback in college for Alabama. But he played the first year with the Panthers, and now in all of his games and all of his starts, he is 2-16 in all of his starts. All of his starts. I think one of his only wins was actually, ironically, against C.J. Stroud, who is fucking balling. C.J. Stroud is maybe one of the top 5 QBs right now. Maybe I'm ranking him a little bit high, but damn, he's doing a lot with not a whole lot on that team. Damn. He really is showing out. And he was picked, I think, number 2 behind Bryce Young. But like I said, it is a complete dumpster fire because it's not just like they whiffed on the pick and chose the wrong quarterback with Bryce Young. No. They traded up. They gave assets to get the first pick, which was Bryce Young. There's other elements here showing out that the Bears now have Caleb Williams, who honestly I haven't really checked the games a whole lot. He's not doing great, but I don't think there's anyone out there that thinks Bryce Young is better than Caleb Williams. And the Bears have been beneficiaries of the Panthers. Even the Bears even have a 2025 second rounder still coming to them. So, what have the Panthers done? The Panthers have pretty much given up on Bryce Young. They have benched Bryce Young. He's going to be riding that pine. Their big number 1 pick. This might be the first time ever that a team has given up this soon on a number 1 pick. I can't think of another team that has given up so much. Even if there's another team that has given up on their first quarterback pick. They gave a boatload to the Bears to get Bryce Young. And what has Bryce Young done this season? with an improved offensive line. Much improved. Actually, the offensive line was ranked 4th, I saw. So you got the 4th best offensive line on this new Panthers team. The Panthers did everything they could to help little Bryce Young, the best they could, to make sure to give him a shot in the pocket. Better offensive line, arguably better targets to target. And in these 2 games, the last game he had 84 yards. He has 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's just shook out there. He is scared. He is scared. He is scared. I think the only 2 times he tried to pass downfield middle, they were intercepted, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a terrible interception, the one I saw towards the middle, because he threw into double coverage. And the only reason you should throw into double coverage is maybe it's the end of the game, you're trying to make something happen, and you're being swarmed in the pocket. He was in a clean pocket. There wasn't nobody on him when he passed that. He is checking down his passes. He's not letting the play out. He's passing early, and he's letting it sail over people. Thielen, I think, he either didn't get a target or he was overshot with a pass, and he was visibly upset. He threw his helmet down. They are just, I don't know how you fix this team. Bryce Young, I think his confidence, like he's better than he's showing, I think. I think his confidence was shot that first year, having to start. And now he is just almost broken. See, it looks like he's a broken player. And this is 2 games into the season. And I think what happened was Canales and the team looked at the tape and they saw Bryce, how he was playing, how he was missing wide open players, how he was running around scrambling, yet still getting sacked. There was this one play where he ran around and he scrambled, got away from some defenders, which was good, and he was 10 yards back. And I think they could have got an easy field goal. They were within field goal range if he just would have thrown the ball away or if he would have run back to the line of scrimmage. But he chose the worst possible thing he could do, which was stalling and telling a wide receiver to go long, and then he got sacked. Abysmal play. Maybe it's Bryce. Maybe it's just the Panthers organization. Other elements to this are pretty depressing for the Panthers because, you see, 2 quarterbacks I had, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold is 2-0 on his team, the Vikings. And Baker Mayfield, oh, he's shaking and baking. They're 2-0, the Buccaneers. So 2 previous Panthers quarterbacks are now showing out. They're balling out. So I think both things can be true. The Panthers organization can be in a free fall, can be the worst organization in football right now from the top to bottom, and Bryce Young also could be a bust. Maybe Bryce Young is just a talented college quarterback that is not able to run an NFL offense, at least not now or anytime soon. And let's say even if he gets better, let's say he gets back to his college ways and he gets his mojo back. The guy's tiny, still tiny. I think he was listed at 205, but no, he is not 205 pounds, soaking wet with a brick, a cinder block in each pocket. He is not. Well, you couldn't fit a cinder block in a pocket, but you get my point. Holding 2 cinder blocks, he is not 205 pounds. Stephen A. Smith from ESPN said he met Bryce Young, and he looked even smaller than him. Stephen A. Smith's not a big guy, but he said he looked tiny compared to him. There was a video. I don't know if I was able to run the video before this. Hopefully I got a chance to. I was going to do something special where there was a video where it looked like Bryce was going to 8th grade, middle school. He had a big old backpack on him, and he was just walking, and he just looked like a kid from a distance. If you see this guy versus next to, did I mention that he's actually going to be replaced? He got benched. The red rifle, the red rocket. I don't know what the nickname of this guy is, but Andy Dalton is going to be replacing him. He's a veteran quarterback. I think he's like 36, something like that. But there's a picture of them right beside of each other, and he looks like a little kid next to Andy Dalton. So versus these 300 plus pound defenders, honestly, it's just a matter of time before this guy gets creamed and crushed, because he's not that athletic. I mean, people point to Kyler Murray, but yeah, it's two different players. Kyler Murray is far better than Bryce Young. There should be no comparison between Kyler Murray and Bryce Young. There's other quarterbacks that are kind of shorter, like maybe a Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's kind of built stocky. This guy looks like a twig. Like there's no way. Usually if you see somebody that's a football player, they're bigger, they're muscular. You're like, okay, that's a football player. Even running backs that are kind of short, but they're stocky. They're built for football. This guy's not built for football. And I don't know what the Panthers can do going forward to right their team. With this pick they made, they might have set themselves back at least 5 years, because they used to have some great weapons, used to have a team. Christian McCaffrey got traded to the 49ers, and of course he's balling out 49ers. He even made the cover of Madden last year. I think he's only like 26, I want to say. DJ Moore, Brian Burns, they got rid of players. They got rid of talented players, so Bryce didn't really have the talent there. They traded players away just to move up to get Bryce Young, which makes no sense. To trade players away to move up to get a player that you think is going to be so much better. What, they have like the number 2 pick or something? I forget what pick they had, but they could have just picked any of those quarterbacks in the top 5. And you got to build up from the corners. You can't be a team that just brings in a quarterback and thinks the quarterback is going to fix everything. No, I believe you got to build your team up, offensive and you got to build your team up from the ground up, and then get your quarterback. What they should do, I believe. Last thing I'll say, what they should do, I believe, is not focus so much on getting the next superstar quarterback. I think they should just trade down whatever pick they have, trade down, get a lot of decent players that could maybe turn into something. Build your team up. Accept the suck. Embrace the suck for a while. But what happens is there's all these teams that think they'll just get one quarterback, one player. That's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be the next Tom Brady. That one player is going to fix everything. Nah. Those players, they need people to defend them. They need an O-line. They need players to pass it to. They need running backs. So, Panthers, you're going to suck for a while. I'm curious to see how the Red Rocket's going to do. And believe me, they are too. If the Red Rocket does even marginally better than Bryce Young, it says a whole lot. It says a whole lot about how they've actually treated the development of Bryce Young. You know how it should be done? You look at a team like the Green Bay Packers. Now, they had the luxury of Aaron Rodgers, so they sit Jordan Love down, and they had him watch a grade in Aaron Rodgers. And that's what they did. They sit him down, had a couple years, and now, doing it the right way, he was developed. Of course, the Packers always really get lucky with quarterbacks, but not exactly the same teams. But the Panthers would do well just to go ahead, like I said, and embrace the fact that they're going to suck for a while and just make some good moves. Do not trade your whole franchise away for an unproven rookie like Bryce Young. It might go down in history. It really might, as the worst decisions made by any NFL franchise. Just on a sheer fact, like I said, of what all they gave to get Bryce Young. Hell, even in 2025, it's still not over. Even if they cut him or trade him away, it's still not over. They still owe for getting Bryce Young. An absolute dumpster fire for franchise. Absolutely. Bye.